Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Lunch for the Soul. I'm Melissa Wilson, and I am with Fox 26 News morning anchor as well as medical reporter. And this is just a little bit of time that we etch out on Wednesdays at 12:30 to talk about how people use faith to truly make a difference in their lives. And wow, do I ever have an incredible guest to introduce you today. Somebody we can all learn from, someone with the strength you are not going to believe, a pillar of our community who makes a difference day in and day out and uses her family's tragedy and her sorrow to enhance the lives of others. I'm talking a true powerhouse. So without further ado, please welcome Justina Page. Hi, Justina. Welcome to Lunch for the Soul. You know I love you. I've known you for years, and I just think the world of you.
Well, thank you for having me, Melissa. And that love is definitely mutual.
Well, you are just one of the most amazing people I have ever had the honor to meet. I want to go back a little bit and talk about your family situation. So you got married, and I'm sure you had dreams of having children, and then you did. You had 6 beautiful boys. Hey, listen to this. I'm a boy mom, so I know what that's like. And then tragedy hit your family about 23 years ago, almost to the day. We're coming up really close to that anniversary from 1999. Tell us what happened.
Well, unfortunately for us, I came in, knelt down, and prayed the shortest prayer of my life. Lord, have mercy. I don't know why I even said that or what happened, only to awake to explosions, TVs popping, the whole house in full flourishing, a total house fire. It was really, really horrific. The end of the matter is this: my husband had to get me out twice because I jumped back in trying to get my twin sons. We had 6 boys, we had 2 twins. The other boys knew the fire safety routine, so they did what they were supposed to do. They went to the point, but the twins, they could not follow a fire safety plan. So I jumped in. I was trying to reach them only to get for a bookshelf to fall on me and totally just start burning. And I thought it was my end. I truly did. And my husband jumped back in, threw me out a second time, ran around the house. The fire was so intense that he wasn't able to just go room to room. He had to run around the house to the neighbor in back of us, jump over a fence just to try to retrieve the twins. He got one twin out. He was burned face, neck, and he had hollered, so he was burned internally as well. And before he was able to get the last twin, the house collapsed into total destruction, and we lost our twin son Amos on sight.
Amos, I know that had to be so devastating for you, but as we see in this photo here, he is your reason why. In fact, you even started a nonprofit in his name. So now your mission in life is to use your baby's life to help others. Let's talk a little bit about how you do that through your foundation and all that you do. For it's Burn Awareness Month this February. And so you take time to try to make people realize
It
how
is.
easy it can happen to you. All yours came down to those silly smoke alarms, didn't it?
It really did. Actually, you know how you're at home, you start burning something,
Mhm,
and the smoke alarm goes off, and you get tired of that, so you pull the battery out,
mhm.
and that's such a fatal mistake. And I had pulled the battery out one too many times, only to not remember to put it back in, and not checking them. You don't feel like these things will happen to you,
Yeah, of course.
and yeah, that was the major problem.
And we take a look
But
here at what your precious little boy had to go through. I mean, what a tough time. And I'm sure the pain for you as well, more than half of your body burned. It had to be devastating, and it had just such a tough thing to go through.
yes, ma'am. See, the pain is the thing that can kill you, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Just surviving that type of tragedy and that type of injury is just it's no words to it, literally. And I tell you what, They actually told my husband that me nor the twin that you just showed there, Benjamin, were going to make it. We had 0% chance of making it. And they delayed Amos's funeral for 3 weeks because they didn't want my husband to go through the horror of having three separate funerals. So they were basically waiting for us to die. But thank God, my husband, being a man of God, a man of faith, and my church family, and those that believed in the community that prayed for us, and we made it through.
It's just remarkable how you are here today, alive. You weren't given a chance. Doctors didn't think you would have a chance to live, but here you are making such a difference for other people. So let's talk about how you're going about doing that. First of all, burn awareness. So you're telling people, make sure you change those smoke alarm batteries. What else do you suggest to people on a regular basis to help protect them and their families?
Well, let's start from the basics. First of all, be aware that it can happen to you. Don't ignore that fact. Have a plan. If you don't know how to create a plan, you could go online nowadays and get that, or make it fun. Get your kids, go to the fire museum in Midtown, basically, is where it's at. Go there, take a visit, learn about fire safety, and they will help you. And they have the little paperwork to help the kids draw out their home like a schematic of where things are, and then you'll get the point where to meet in case everyone's out. If you're outside, meet here. If a fire breaks out, meet at this point or that point. Because the thing about fires, it's dark. It's not like Hollywood movies. You can't see anything. You're not going to find your way anywhere. It's too dark. So you got to kind of know what to do ahead of time. As a matter of fact, that's the thing that saved the four other boys. I have a son with autism. His two older brothers got their two younger brothers that were older than the twins. I know that's a lot of brothers. But anyway, they got them and went to the point. And my husband was able to call for them and get them out. So it's very important to have a plan. And then when you get the plan, practice the plan. Fire drill is necessary. No, let them get used to knowing. Let them visit the fire station and see the firefighters in their apparatus and gear. I've supported many people who lost their children in house fires because the children were afraid and they went and hid. Yeah. And they saw the firefighters, they thought they were monsters and they wouldn't come to them. So that's crucial.
And one thing you taught me, Justina, that I didn't even realize, and I don't know why, just something I'd never thought about, is that you can get the water sprinklers in your home. I snapped a picture here of the ceiling at Fox. Right above me right now is what this looks like.
Yes.
All over my office. But I certainly have never thought about putting those in your house. But you say, think about downgrading your carpet or your cabinets or something if you're building, and then you can afford to have sprinklers in your home.
Absolutely. Now sprinklers is a huge thing, because if we had sprinklers at that time, Melissa, I didn't know about that either. You see them, you see how businesses will protect their properties. Why not protect your property? And your life is just as valuable, if not more. But yes, it's a huge deal. Yeah, you can do that. You can get your home sprinkler and it will make the difference, because unlike Hollywood, people think I don't want sprinklers because when they go off, it's going to drown out all of my furniture and everything. But the sprinkler is heat sensitive and it will only turn on at the source of the heat.
I'm showing some pictures here of some of the things that you do, including the fact that you are recognized by the city of Houston for your work. What does that mean to you that people are recognizing what you're doing and that you are making a difference?
Well, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't care about them recognizing me in that sense. Mm-hmm. But if they're being more aware of their safety, of what's going on, if that's a propaganda for this vital information to get out, that's what I care about. I want people to be safe. I want people not to experience the pain and horror that I went through.
Let's talk about how you've used faith as such a big part of your life, even naming your organization, your nonprofit that's named after your little boy, the Amos House of Faith. You use that. How has that helped you balance your life and survive what every parent considers to be their worst nightmare, and that's losing a child?
Well, faith is everything for me. It's just everything. It's my foundation. It's what I stand on. It's all I have. And it's really interesting. Now, when this happened to me, I remember when I woke up from coma. I was in a coma for about 2 months before I even woke up. And when I woke up, I was like, okay, where was my God? What is going on? Why? And I carried those whys for a while in my heart. And I'll never forget, it was about maybe a year and a half out. I was finally able to drive again and use my hands again. For a long time, I couldn't even use my hands. And I went to a fellowship, my woman's fellowship. So being a mother in a house with all these boys and a man, you can imagine what a woman's fellowship meant to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was super excited, and I drove up and I saw the women walking in. And of course, it was a school day, but the little children that were the age about when Amos had passed on, I saw them bringing their children in. And I got totally triggered, just totally triggered. And I went into this hysterical, moan and cry. And it was what my friend's neighbor was watching me, and he didn't know me, so he didn't know whether to help or what. I'll never forget how he was looking at me, but I had lost complete control. And I'm like, why, God, why my child? And I'll never forget what he spoke to me. And it is a principle I stand on for all these years. Here it is. He said, look, I don't revolve around your will. You revolve around mine. I'm the son. And he said, and it was just such an eye-opening thing. And he said, all things work together for good. And I think the thing we have to realize about our faith is that God is far enough away from things. Life happens. Now, I'm not one of those that say God started that fire or even allowed that fire, but the reality is it happened. And God saw what can happen behind that, and he allowed it. So he told me it's not about me. I'm like, wow. And then I remember asking him, well, Lord, if it's not about me, it sure involved quite a bit of me. Could you explain that? But it's not about us. It really isn't, not as children of God.
Well, you can see here, people are saying, what a testimony. We have Rogers or Kim saying, God bless her heart. And we have Sherry saying, you know what, God is faithful. And obviously that's what you felt through this. You felt that strength to get you through just these really
I
tough
did.
times. Now, what you do, and I think it's incredible that you've written a book and your proceeds go to help out. Everything that you do goes to help burn victims. Tell me how you're able to pull that off.
Yeah, well, it's just a thing, and that's a funny story in itself. I had people, so I've been doing a lot of work. I got really involved, and see, God knew this about me. Whatever I'm in it 100%. So I got into this world, this burn survivor world. I began to see needs, so began to develop programs to help. And so I'm locally, nationally, even internationally working on these type of things. And someone said, Justina, you need to write a book. You have so much wisdom and so much. I'm like, I don't have time to write a book. I'm doing this, and that. And they said, well, if you write the book, the proceeds could go to your nonprofit. I'm like, oh, I got time.
Yeah.
So I did it, and it didn't take me long at all because it's just straight heart.
Yeah.
It's a book of heart. It's the reality. I don't just share the glorious things. I share what really was going on, the pain, the challenge, the depression. I share it all, but also and mainly how God got me through. And I think transparency is God's currency to save souls. So it's a very transparent book.
How can we find that book?
Thecircleoffire.org,
Okay.
O-R-G.
Well, that's an easy way to do it. And I take a look at you, and you're just so lovely. And I love the fact that you've been able to move on and have these times and experience romance and still experience the love of life, right? Even though your heart's hurting, you've learned to protect that and to be able in some part to move on while you help others.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's my brown sugar that you just showed there. My rock, he was faithful, he was there. He's part of the reason I survived, just totally. Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, it's
Oh,
so
he does have a name. James Page.
Hey, James, love and hugs to you. I love that. Now, you have a big event coming this weekend, too. On Saturday, there's going to be a special luncheon. People need to register. You need to know they're coming. So let's talk about that. Again, proceeds going to help victims who have suffered something similar to you, who burn victims.
Yes. So that event actually is the 26th,
Oh,
just to
okay.
be clear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
So
the
it's coming up in
26th.
2 weeks
And
then. Okay.
it's coming up in 2 weeks, and it is a ticketed event. The last day to register is Monday, the
Okay.
21st. So people have up to Monday to get
You
their
said it's the
tickets. But we would
26th.
love to have you.
Okay.
Yes. And it is what it is, it's a new, where do we go from here? New year, new plan. It's our first live meeting since COVID. So I want to update everyone. We're going to have our board members there, our advisory board there. We'll have firefighters there. We'll have a lot of people within the burn community, but anyone is welcome. And we're really trying to reach out to the community to tell them about our programs, what we're doing, what we've accomplished, and the big reveal of where we're going. We have a surprise. We're going to unveil the new plan. So I'm super excited about that. Also, we are, oh my God, so honored to have Kechi Okuchi with us. And Kechi is the burn survivor, like one of the, I think it was only two of them that survived the Nigerian airplane crash. She is America's Got Talent finalist, and she's just a beautiful soul. I knew her from many years back. I was called in to be a peer support to her, went down to Galveston to be with her and her mom, and they're just beautiful people. And she's going to be speaking, and she's going to grace us with a song. So I'm super excited
It's
about
so
that.
interesting that you said she's a beautiful soul, because Autumn just described you a few minutes ago as a beautiful soul. So there's going to be
Hey,
multiple
Autumn.
beautiful souls at that event for sure, which is going to be
Yes.
incredible. If someone right now is watching and they say, my goodness, I could not have gone through that. I couldn't be burned over most of my body, be given a life sentence of nothing. You weren't expected to live, and then be able to move on, be able to help people day in and day out. How do you find that strength? Where did you find that strength, do you think, to have that faith day in and day out to make a difference in this world, even though you've been through a lot?
Well, here's my mantra. Hope is the heartbeat of survival. You got to have some hope. If you don't have hope, you're not going to make it. It's everything. Hope is everything. My hope is in God, not in what he can do, not in what he does, but in who he is. I understand who he is. He's a good God. He's gracious. Thoughts toward us are good.
And we take a look at your family, and I know they just mean so much to you, don't they?
Oh my God, yes. Those my boys. And
Well,
you see the cameo of Amos in the back. So we did that in the home.
uh,
Yeah.
well, you have some just amazing stories to share. Where can people find out more besides your book? Can we follow you on social media? How can we help you?
You can follow me on social media. You can visit the Amos House website, theamoshouse.org. You can email me. I am very personable. I love
Yes,
literally
you are.
talking to people. So Justina at justinapage.com. We could go have coffee. We could talk. I'm here to help. That's who I am. That's who God made me.
And if people recognize you, there's a reason why too, because you're also a local actress. You've been in many different programs and movies and streaming shows to help people from everything from PTSD, all kinds of different things, to faith. So thanks for all you do for this community, Justina. It's just an honor to talk to you. Thank you for who you are, for sharing the truth about what you've been through, and just only continued good health and safety for you and your family. Love and hugs, my friend. You stay in touch, okay? Uh,
Well,
All right.
thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, love you so much, Justina. And I just want to tell you all next week, we are going to be introducing you to another amazing mom. Her name is Tara, and she lost her young daughter, her teenager, on spring break. They just went skiing, and her daughter was very athletic. It was just a freak accident. She hit a tree accidentally on the slope and died. And so her message is how important it is. And she hopes all of us will consider organ donation. Her daughter was able to go on and save many lives. And the fact that those people are living because of her daughter has really helped her work through some of that pain. So I hope you'll join me 12:30 right here next week. We'll have that conversation and you too can be part of that. Bless you all. Thanks for being a part of Lunch for the Soul. And I really look forward to seeing you here same time next week.